Hello and welcome to Nine Maples Weekly Whiskey Spotlight. Today we have Charles joining us.
Hi there.
Charles is the man that runs our tours for Nine Maples. So he's going to Scotland in about 2 weeks, sorry.
A little over 2 weeks.
And going to Ireland about a year from now. So on that note, we decided to spotlight an Irish whiskey. So we're doing the Green Spot Irish Whiskey. And this is a pot still. So we're going to talk about what a pot still means.
Yeah, so pot still whiskey is generally an Irish style of whiskey. What pot still means is that they take actually some unmalted and malted barley when they actually do their distillation, which is quite different from other countries, like in Scotland where they just use malted barley. But they do a triple distillation of this whiskey, which kind of mellows it out. But in general, a pot still whiskey is really nice because it adds kind of some richness, some spiciness to it, and you get a lot of that flavor profile from the Green Spot. And I'll talk a little bit about the name Green Spot. The name comes from a stamp that was put onto barrels of whiskey. The stamp actually was an indication of how old the whiskey was. So there were 4 colors. There was blue, green, yellow, and red. Blue was 7 years, green was 10, yellow was 12, and red was 15. Now this one's a 10, even though the whiskey inside most people think is about 8 to 9 years. But it's made in Middleton, just outside of Cork, by Irish distillers. They also make Redbreast, they make Jameson, they make a lot of the Irish whiskey that we see on the shelves today. And this one's 8 to 9 years. It's aged in American oak, about 75% American oak, ex-bourbon barrels, and about 25% sherry casks. But it's a really nice whiskey, great approachable whiskey for everybody.
It is. The sherry sweetens it up a little bit, doesn't it?
It definitely gives it a little bit of sweetness.
Now this is the first one that I fell in love with after moving on from Jameson being my main whiskey. Found it to be very delicate and well-rounded. It doesn't have that bite you get sometimes in the Irish whiskey.
Yeah, so you get, right off the nose, you get sherry.
Mm-hmm.
And you get, even though it's just 25% sherry cask, you get that sweetness. I get orange peel.
Citrus.
There's definitely like some honey, lemony citrus going on.
Honey butter.
And then, you kind of get a little bit of apple. You got some pear.
Green pear comes, yeah, that's what I'm getting there.
You get some of the spiciness from the pot still.
You said that was from the pot still.
You also get, with pot stills, you get what's called mouthfeel, which means
Does have a nice
the whiskey
mouthfeel.
kind of sticks to your palate in a good way. And it's called viscosity, and this is definitely a good example of that. It's a lighter whiskey, there's no question about it. It's not as heavy as like a Redbreast or as rich as a Redbreast, but these pot stills, they're very good. And this is a great kind of entry. It has a kind of a medium finish.
It's described as refreshing, and you can see that it's very nice. Like the best word I can use is delicate, refreshing Irish whiskey. Even on a hot day like today.
And next year we do plan to go here and visit. We did a hard hat tour here a couple of years ago, which was fantastic. So definitely going to be on the agenda again for next September.
It's going to be
So,
exciting. How long do the trips usually run?
8 nights.
8 nights?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
8 nights in Ireland, let's go.
Yeah, can't beat it.
Perfect. So we have this here. Let's see, what are we doing? 40% ABV. So you don't even need to dilute this at all. It's delicious. 7 days a week at 9 Maple. We open at 4 p.m. And this here is $10 a pour. And you're going to see this other places too. A lot of the stuff we spotlight you don't see other places, but this one you can actually find out and kind of broaden away from your Jameson drinking.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I don't know if it stopped or not, but.